All right, here we go. Welcome, guys. This is episode 2 of the Painting the Black podcast. I am Brad Kale, and joining me today is our co-commissioner, Mohammed Riley. Mo, how are we doing today?
Good, man. What's up with you?
No, not much. Looking forward to talking a little Dynasty baseball with you, and yeah. So let's kind of jump right into it. If you guys recall, last week's standings, reverse order was Morgan in 12th, Don 11th, Brett 10th, Kelton 9th, Paul 8th, Doug was in 7th, tied with Cullen for 6th, actually. Troy was in 5th, Mo 4th, Cody in 3rd, Drew in 2nd, and then I was leading. So let's look at how the matchups went. Mo, you want to start off with yours? It was you and Kelton.
Yeah, Kelton destroyed me last week, so I appreciate that. Kelton, if you're watching. So I think this might have been the first week I lost K's all year. One of the things about this podcast, right, is bringing our group chat to life, right? So one of the things I've been talking about with y'all is I keep having a good ERA and whip, and somehow the team I play that week has an amazing week, and I keep losing. So I 2.84 ERA, still lost. So, and then the thing we talked about earlier this week, or last week, I guess now, Jose Rojas, the infamous 3 home run game on my bench. So that would have won me.
That's not good.
So that would have won me home runs. Usually I would have won ERA at a 2.84. And then I'm just complaining, right? It's just my venting session. And then if Scherzer doesn't get hurt, I get more than I probably beat him in Ks. So all around, terrible week for me, great week for Kelton. I can't believe I'm still in, what am I, still in 4th place now after this week, despite getting killed?
Yeah.
I'll take
that Scherzer injury is going to be huge for you. I mean, what they say, 6 to 8 weeks he's out?
6 to 8 weeks, probably out until after the All-Star break. So now, is he my second highest paid player? So now my top 2. So Tatis is obviously out for who knows how long.
Right. I was just listening to another.
Oh no, I have Max today for $16. I forgot about this.
Oh yeah.
That's actually not that bad. I'm paying him the same amount of money I'm paying Luis Garcia, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. I was just I don't remember which podcast I was listening to today, but they were talking about Tatis and how he's going to be returning here before too long, you would think. And so, I mean, you get those 2 guys back around maybe the All-Star break. I mean, you're going to be a team to watch for that second half. I mean, hell, you're already in 4th place.
That was the plan. Hang around in playoff contention until Tatis is back.
Right.
And then see what we can do.
Yeah. So let's get into my matchup with Troy. I was kind of talking all sorts of crap in that first podcast, and luckily last night's games kind of won it for me. It was kind of back and forth all week, really. I mean, Troy and I were texting every now and then, and came down to Michael Kopech's Sunday night start, and
he's been amazing.
Oh, he was one that I've had in the off season when trade talks were going on. I had a couple people reach out wanting him, but he was one where I did not want to trade him at all, and for this reason, basically.
Yeah, I liked him. I don't think I got him in any leagues. One of the weird things, right, about our group chats is I'll tell you guys, I read something about this guy, but I'll never tell you where, right? I try to keep that secret.
Yep.
So there's one guy that I read that liked Kopech a lot. He was pushing him, and I just wasn't able to get him in a league. So it is what it is. But
This
he's
is
been
actually the
amazing.
only league I have him in. Oh, I guess, and that Cardinal league that I talked to you guys about, but those are really the only two leagues. But yeah, luckily, Troy claiming Laureano didn't hurt me at all. So kind of lucked out there. But yeah, I got a nice 7-2 win to pad my league in the league, and
Yeah, this was.
hopefully,
I'm looking at it now. It was like you beat him by 328 to 327 on base percentage. He beat you by you could have really had a 10-0.
yeah. I mean
One more quality
the ones
start,
that
couple
I
more.
lost. I mean, I only lost runs by one run.
And Laureano got two, so he did help him out.
Yeah. And then saving holds, I lost 7-6. So that was pretty close there too. Trying to see. No, I don't know if there was one day where I might have had a reliever on the bench for an extra starter. I don't know. But yeah, nice 7-2 win again against Troy there. So yeah, moving on to some other matchups. Cody beat Brett pretty handily there, 7-3. Let's kind of take a look at that matchup there. Few close categories.
Yeah, it could have easily been 5-5.
Yeah.
Gets runs, and what was the other close one I just saw? Quality starts.
Yep.
I mean, like if I'm Brett, like my pitchers are killing it. Like they killed it that week.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
Brett's
not a bad week
in,
at all. So as we're going through this, we're gonna talk about standings. I may be jumping the gun.
you're good.
So we got what's the earliest, and y'all tell us in the comments too, what's the earliest you've ever rebuilt? Like what week have you
Ooh.
kind of thrown in the towel?
Okay.
I was trying to think about this. I think I've done it. I've pulled a Drew before where I've just decided that year I'm going to rebuild, like in another
Yeah.
league, not this league. But like if I'm Morgan right now, I'm 25 and a half out, sixth place. I'm trying to do math on the fly. I'm supposed to be an accountant, but the secret is we always use calculators, so I can't really do this on the fly.
Right.
Was that 12 and a half games? So like if
Yeah.
I'm Morgan, I'm still optimistic I can catch that to sixth place. 25 and a half. Looks like he's 12 and a half behind Doug, who's in sixth place. So if I'm Morgan, I'm sorry, Morgan's not last.
Yeah. Don's in last there.
Don is
20,
last. If
25 and
I'm
a half.
Don, yeah, if I'm Don, I'm still holding out hope.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Don, I mean, he's got to figure out how to get some more pitchers there. I mean, he's pretty loaded up on offense, but I mean, he's got to get some starters there. Maybe work the trade block, and oh wow. But I mean, yeah, Don, if you're tuning in, I mean, hit some of us up for some pitchers. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's sometimes how I look at matchups, right? Like if I'm Brett and I lost that week, like the matchup within the matchup, my team's playing pretty good. I mean, the offense didn't show up like you'd like, but pitching wise, doing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, Brett's kind of started off slow, to his standards at least. So,
Yeah.
but I expect him to turn things around pretty quickly. I think I even mentioned that last week too. So, let's look at another matchup here. Cullen and Hall. Another 7-3 victory here. Cullen winning that one. Let's kind of dive into that one. Cullen kind of rolled on offense there.
Yeah.
48 RBIs, 8 stolen bases. That's
insane.
That's a good solid week.
Story had 14 RBIs. That's insane. He
holy cow. 6 home runs, 14 RBIs. We'll be talking about Story later on. But
he was on waivers. I could have claimed him.
Yeah, anyone could have. I mean, what's his?
No, he's up there. He's like $44.
Yeah, 40 something. I wouldn't have been able to claim him, but yeah, $44. That's
so I think. Oh, I'm actually at 272. So that's 28. I would have to send down. Oh, I have Kim up, which isn't real. So let's add 8 to that. So that's what's that, 36. And if I send down Kirk, gets me to 40.
You would have to do a little bit of finagling, but I think you could have made it work there.
Yeah. I don't know. It probably wouldn't have been worth capping myself out.
But I mean, who was really honestly seeing this coming from him, especially how he started?
Yeah. No, I'm happy to see it, right? For the reasons I won't talk about specific people aren't in the league. But some people said he wouldn't do well outside of Coors. So
yeah.
I know Cody's rooting for him for that reason.
Right. Yeah, he had an insane week, but he kind of was the reason why Cullen.
Yeah, that's the difference.
So, I mean, looking at Paul, I mean, his pitching wasn't terrible.
Yeah, not bad.
Wasn't terrible there. So, I mean, Cullen just had a really good week. So,
and Paul even had, I'm looking at more innings pitched by 10 and lost Ks by 13, which is.
You don't see that too often.
Yeah, it's hard to do that. Looks like Peralta got Cullen 12. I think Peralta's actually heading to the DL, so hopefully he's back soon, because I think I picked the Brewers to go to the World Series. So for that reason there's another guy. I like him, but I don't own him in any leagues.
Yeah, I have him in Pop 2.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he was the first pitcher I took. I really liked how last season went, and I didn't really think he would replicate it. I thought he would have a real solid season. So
yeah.
It looks like he had Josiah Gray got 7 before being demoted. Christian Javier got 9 Ks for him this week. He got Giolito back as well, because I think that was his first start off the COVID IL, I think, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, next matchup. Let's get into Doug and Morgan. There's the reason why I'm leaving Drew's for last there.
This is matchup of the week right here, right? It's the only close one.
Yeah. And pitching. That ERA, not good.
Yeah, either team.
Both over 5. I mean, kind of looking at any standouts. No, Shane Bieber for Morgan, 10 strikeouts. I think in his only start last week.
Yeah. I've been so I was telling you guys, right, about the guy I know that's targeting pitchers, right, to bet.
Yep.
So he actually targeted Robbie Ray at Fenway last week.
Really?
And I was like, you're crazy. And then I think Trevor Story hit a grand. So he did like one of those 5-inning bets. First, how in basketball you can do a first half bet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he did a first 5-inning bet on, I think it was 2 or 3 runs that Robbie Ray would have to give up, or maybe the Red Sox would have to score 2 or 3 runs, and the bet wins if he hits that. And so Story hit a grand slam very early in that game. So I was like, dang. So I own Robbie Ray in other leagues.
Right.
So obviously I root for him. And then I'm also a closet Mariners fan, so I root for him.
CMF.
But I've been surprised with Ray so far. Hoping he can. He's at a 4.77 ERA right now. So that's not good.
I know you guys have been kind of higher on him. Even last year, I mean, I had Ray in a league or two last year. I was glad I had him. This year, I just didn't think he could put up the same type of numbers. I've kind of grown into a closet Mariner fan with our discussions as well. I hope he can turn it around for their sake, but I don't know. It might need to happen quick.
Yeah. And then for those looking at Morgan's team, I read a bunch of articles preseason that said who could be this year's Robbie Ray. And a lot of people said Tyler Anderson. So Tyler Anderson actually had a really good week for Morgan.
Yeah.
This week. So he has both. So if Ray can't do it, maybe the next Ray can.
Right. Yeah.
Seems like he's going to kind of keep. I think he'll kind of keep it up. I think he had a couple of bad starts that make his numbers. So he has one bad start that made his numbers. He has a 4.04 ERA, but a 1.09 WHIP. So I can actually see him. Morgan, if you decide to rebuild, let me know. I would be happy to trade for him. I like Tyler Anderson a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he almost has that K per inning as well, and just that start against Philly that really did him in there. So, all right, let's get into the blowout of the week. I'm going to call this the Hunter Dozier result. For those of you that didn't see the Royals game, and I don't remember who they were playing, but Hunter Dozier was trying to score, I believe from first base. The relay in, their third base coach sent Dozier home for whatever reason. The ball was pretty much at the infield already, and he was out by a mile. So that's why I'm going to call this the Hunter Dozier result, because looking at the matchup, it really wasn't all that close.
Yeah, Drew's team, like this is a dream week. You think about like you want to hit certain thresholds every week, right? So you want to be north of 30 runs, 30 RBIs. So you hit both of those. I think like 8 is a good home run number. He's over that. You're over, what do you want to be? Over at least 340 on base, which he hit 349. He's got the K per inning. ERA is a little higher than you'd like. WHIP's right where you want it to be. Saves and hits is right where you want it to be. Quality starts maybe you want a couple more, but like that's almost a perfect week.
Right. Yeah. I mean his pitchers, I'm looking at pitching stuff right now. But yeah, his hitters kind of led the way there, and I mean, couldn't ask for Devers. I couldn't ask for anything better there for them.
What number did we let Drew have Taylor Ward at? I've been kicking myself for not joining in on that bidding. So $3 a year for the next 3 years.
I wondered if that was the cost.
And then
Taylor Ward, he's having a heck of a year.
Currently ranked number 8 in our league. Not bad for a free agent pickup.
You probably say he's the MVP of the Angels right now, even over Trout and Ohtani.
Yeah. They got 3 guys that can basically carry you offensively on any given night. That's That's insane.
Yeah.
Like it's
Billboard's having a hell of a year.
And then they got Joe Madden now, who I don't know. I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this, of how much value or devalue a manager adds, but I feel like Joe Madden's one of those guys that he makes a difference.
No, I mean, look at what he did in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, leading them to World Series.
Coming back from a 3-1. Like, he's just that kind of guy that will kind of keep it even keel. Over a 162 game season, I feel like, especially in a new environment. Like, I bet eventually you kind of get tired of it. But like, this is his first year, right? With the Angels?
Second.
Second year?
I want to say second. Actually, it might even be third.
You remember he used to be there. Was he there when they went to the World Series in 2002?
Yeah, he was.
Like their
I don't remember what
coach,
role.
bench coach, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, this is his third year already.
Third year, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he took over the COVID season.
Yeah,
that was his first season.
I guess in that sense, then maybe what I just said doesn't apply. But I mean, I like him. He's one of my favorite managers.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a players manager there. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown of the week 6 matchups. Kind of looking at the standings now before we get into this week's matchups. Not a whole lot of movement, just a little bit here and there. Got a new basement dweller in Don. Don and Morgan kind of switched spots there. Brett stayed idle at 10. Paul dropped down from 8th to 9th. Big dropper though is Troy. Sorry, Troy. I had to do it to you. Troy dropped from 5th all the way down to 8th. I guess he's tied for 7th with Kelton, but Yahoo hasn't pegged it at 8th.
Yeah, it's still only, he's still only, what, 2.5 behind me for 4th. Like, it's really.
Yeah, I mean,
it's you and
from 4th even down to 9th. I mean, it's not all that far. I mean,
yeah, it's a
eight game difference between you and Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, I played
6. 8 between you and Brett at 10th.
Yeah. Yeah, I played Brett. He beats me, 9-1. We're tied.
Yeah.
Which, the way my team's been playing, 9-1 is probably not that hard to do.
Right. I mean, we're still in the first half of the season. I mean, really, anything could happen. I hate for anyone to kind of sell it in at this point because, I mean, like you said, that 9-1, 8-1 matchup win can really vault you up the standings. But yeah, Kelton is in 7th. He's up 2 spots. He was in 9th last week. If the season were to end today, Doug would be in 6th. Look at this matchup. Doug would be going up against 3rd place Cody.
Yeah. That would be great.
The Collusioners. Yeah. Cody's 5.5 back the first, and Doug's 13. But I mean, that would be one hell of a matchup, I think. Then you would be up against Cohen. You're in 4th. He's in 5th.
He knocked me out last year, so I'd be ready for that one.
Yeah, definitely a revenge matchup for sure there. Getting the buys would be Drew. He's still doing one hell of a job. He's not wanting to sniff that basement again, but he's in 2nd, and I remained in 1st this week.
So I'm looking at Drew's season so far. He has all wins, 1 tie against Cody in week 4. And then you're still undefeated.
Yeah. I just pulled that up too. my closest matchup was against Doug, week 3, 6-4 victory. Yeah, I mean,
and then Cody, who again bringing the group chat to life. I thought preseason that was the team to beat. He has one loss, one tie to Drew, and the only loss was to Kelton early in the year. But I feel like Cody's about to go on a run.
Yeah, I mean, just the three of us. I mean, we pegged Cody right away to kind of win it all there, and I mean he's hanging right in there. I mean, he's got some notable guys on the injured list right now. Salvi Perez, who, I mean, he's had a down year. We'll talk about catchers here in a second too. But Brandon Lau, Mitch Haniger, Lance Lynn, he hasn't pitched yet this year.
That was one of the moves when he made that in the offseason. I was like, whoa, like that's gonna, because he already had elite hitting.
Yeah,
he got Lynn. I was like, we're all in trouble. So yeah, once he gets Lynn back,
yeah, that'll definitely solidify his team. Getting Lynn back, and if Salvi, once he comes back, if he can not necessarily have his season last year, but I mean, if he can have his usual season, I mean, he should be pretty good there. Well, speaking of catchers, they suck this year. Holy crap.
I feel like they suck every year.
I mean, I'm not a big catcher guy to begin with. I mean, as I say that, I have Wilson Contreras, I think, on 4 of my 5 Yahoo teams. But yeah, they seem like they are hit and miss year in and year out. But I don't know. I feel this year it's just even worse.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, no, they've been terrible. I actually just pulled it up. I didn't realize that I had the number 1 ranked catcher, who's Dalton Varsho, which Doug, thank you for not extending him a major league contract. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was one move I was
really
surprised about. Doug not giving him a major league contract there.
I think it was the right decision because he wasn't great last year when he played. But there was, like, Doug knows this because me and him talk about Varsho all the time. Like, he's just a guy that, and you know this, I drafted him in the original contract league way back when. So I've just always been a fan.
Right.
It was kind of, for me, it was more of a roll of the dice that kind of came up okay. I would not have expected him to be the number 1 catcher. I was thinking if he can be a top 10 catcher, I've been happy.
Well, the thing that kind of sets him apart is his stolen bases.
Yeah, he's got the stolen bases, and then he actually has, of these top guys, by far the most, or not by far is the wrong word, but he has the most at bats. That's because at the beginning of the year, he was playing outfield.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't getting as many off days as your typical catcher. So that helped. Now I think he started to play catcher a little bit more with some of the injuries.
I had just pulled up his where he's been playing at. He's got 16 games at catcher this year. So
yeah. I feel like that's like the last 16. Like at first he didn't have many. And then I think, what's his name? Carson Kelly got hurt. And so
he's another one that he has been horrid too.
Yeah. I feel like he is good every other year. He's not good every year. He'll take 1 year off for some reason.
All right. Well, I just got a notification saying that my meeting will end in 10 minutes. So
we gotta go fast. Yeah. We got the free Zoom, guys. We don't make enough money yet.
Right.
Take your donations.
Kind of some moves last week. kind of turn back the clock. I mean, we had guys being bid on that could use a walker. Miguel Cabrera, Madison Bumgarner, Rich Hill, and Wade Miley.
So there used to be this guy, and I'm not even trying to hide the source this time, but he used to write this article. And you might remember this. There's some guy on Yahoo, I think, the Raul Ibanez All-Stars, right? So it's always like the boring veterans that would put up stats that no one wanted, right? And so when I saw these transactions this week, I was like, yeah, these are the Raul Ibanez All-Stars of this year. Like for those, Drew, that might be too young to remember Raul Ibanez, he would, he'd always give you, 80 to 90 runs, 80 to 90 RBIs, always around 20 home runs. And he started doing this probably like from the ages of like 29 to, I want to say 34. I'm not looking this up because we're running out of time. But and he's just a boring veteran. No one wanted him. Everyone wanted upside guys, right? And so that's what these guys are. And Adam Wainwright did it last year, right? I think he went undrafted or he got drafted very late, had an amazing year. So as I've gotten older, and you know this, Brad, when we first started playing fantasy baseball, like I would draft all the young guys. I'd have no one over 25 on my team ever.
Right.
Like it was like a source of pride for me to have every single young guy. But now as I've gotten older, I've seen the value of some of these older guys that are more consistent, and those younger guys have these peaks, but they also have those valleys where they're just very streaky. So I've tried to balance that as I've become a veteran fantasy baseball player.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree. Some of those guys may need a walker, but I think they'll be productive.
Yeah, I mean, Miggy got the 3,000 hits a couple weeks ago, and he's doing well this year. Speaking of Wade Miley, Don said he is willing to pay to not have him. Now, if you had to pick one player right now, who would you pick? And again, a rostered guy in our league, who would you pick? You would say you would pay not to have him. Like you want nothing to do with him.
Joey Gallo, right? I'm paying him right now.
Oh, yes. Gallo.
Which that one, you guys know, it's a heartbreaker for me because he's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, it is.
Colin and I have talked about this, right? Because he's a Yankees fan. I just feel like he can't take that media market. He needs to get out.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up traded by the deadline. I don't know where, but I think he's done. He's done there.
He just can't figure it out. And he tried to like fight the media, and it's just, he's got to shut up and play.
Cullen won Jeffrey Springs the other day for $15, 1-year deal. Troy initially thought he was bidding on Jerry Springer.
Now that was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, Jeffrey Springs, Jerry Springer. Yeah, I can kind of see it.
I can see it.
I don't think we really have a lot of time to talk about the minor league prospect update. MLB.com pipeline, they kind of updated their top 100. Maybe that's something we can dive into next week. More time or something, especially because I think Cody wants to get on too, and I'm sure he would want to talk about them. So kind of a preview for next week. So let's end the podcast here with kind of a major update with this.
The big reveal.
Yeah, big reveal here. Kind of a spur of the moment type deal, but Cody created a logo for this podcast. Let's see if I can get this working here.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I mean, he's got that painting the black around the edges there on that home plate, and I think it looks really, really sharp. So Cody, thank you for doing that.
Cody's the man.
Looks great. And I don't know if you can kind of see that top right corner there.
It's like that artist signature thing, right?
Yeah, the watermark BDA. I like that. I like that. So, yeah, I think we're going to try to kind of get that on maybe at the beginning of these podcasts if we can get more technological inclined about this. I don't know.
Get the NBA on NBC music as our lead-in.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be cool to have some sort of music starting us off, and so. But I'm gonna have to do a little more research on how to get that included. But yeah, Mo, thanks for jumping on this week.
Sorry for all the technical difficulties.
No, it took us a little while to get it figured out, but I mean, hey, we got to work, and so. Oh, one more thing. I didn't catch this. We got a couple minutes. Coming back to you, bud. Christian Walker. You can't bid on a player or start a bid when the thread is already started. What are you doing there, bud? Leave it to Cullen, right?
Leave it to Cullen. Hey, Cody, I got a dad joke for you.
Ooh.
What do you call Christian Walker with a beard on a day that he hit 3 home runs?
Ooh, I don't know.
A suicide bomber, because he'd be Muslim Walker.
Oh boy.
So one of the other things, right? We're running out of time. We talk about Seinfeld, right? This is one of those things where I can make that joke, right? Because I'm Muslim.
Right.
So there's an episode of Seinfeld where the dentist becomes Jewish just for the jokes. And Jerry's like, I think he just became Jewish for the jokes. Like, you can't do that. So it's
I like that one. I like that one. But yeah, we got 2 minutes left. Anything you want to throw in there?
No, I'm good. I'm afraid no one's going to watch a 40-minute podcast, but hopefully they will.
Right. Yeah. We didn't talk about matchups this week. So quickly going through, big matchup between me and Drew. First and second place
that's
battle.
Huge.
We got Cody versus Don, Cullen, and Doug. Kind of
the naming rights matchup.
Yeah. Morgan and Brett, 11th and 10th place battle there. We got Paul and Kelton, and then you are going up against Troy. So let's see if you can give
Battle
Troy
of the
another
Accountants.
loss this week.
Battle of the Accountants. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks for joining, guys. That'll conclude this week's In the Black podcast. Tune in next week. Hope you guys make some errors while bidding. That'll give me some content to go off of. So good luck this week. And not Drew. I don't want him to win. So
I'm excited about
watching,
that,
guys.
All right, Brad. Talk to you.